Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm cold this morning. You ever get that? It's just like, ugh. So I got the coat on this morning, even in the office. I'm calling it just a good old-fashioned weather update for you. We've got several things to talk about. We have some limited lake effect snow today, so 95% of us will have okay winter driving conditions. I always hesitate to say good because it's way below freezing, so you never know where you can find a patch of ice or something on a road. And then we have a weak frontal system on Friday, a 1 to 2 inch snow. We have an Alberta Clipper Sunday into Monday. That's not really a big snow. That's probably a 1 to 4 inch snow south to north. Then the wind behind it, another Arctic blast for a couple of days, and we'll look way out in the future. I'm just going by overall long-term experience. The atmosphere is primed for us to get into a more widespread snowstorm. We'll start taking a look at that just for fun. All right, so here we go. Along the shoreline, west of Grand Rapids, Holland, down to South Haven, the snow's going to pick up, and that's a 3 to 6 inch snow. There isn't an official winter weather advisory because it's fairly localized, and it maybe stretches down into Kalamazoo with an inch or two. And then also around the Traverse City area, although it's limited, it looks like another 3 to 6 inches in spots. But otherwise, the state is dry. Now, the radar forecast will show you that pickup in the snowfall during the morning hours, 10, 11, noon. Traverse City, down the shoreline to Frankfort, Manistee, Ludington, down in Muskegon, Holland, southwest corner. This is 3 in the afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock tonight. So continued lake effect in, relatively small areas compared to what we can see at times. And then that breaks down tonight, and we should have a dry Thursday. So let's get into the bigger picture. And remember, this will be the European model, which is good. We get caught. I try to make this simple for you. It's not always simple. So in the short term, today, we use a couple models: high resolution rapid refresh, North American model. You rarely hear me mention the GFS, which is the National Weather Service's golden child model, and it's garbage. It's, if we do a lot of things wrong in the United States, you see political wise, in meteorology, this GFS, for us here in the North, it's pretty much garbage compared to some of the others. Not like the high resolution rapid refresh. That's our model. Nobody in the world has something like that. Short term. Next 12 hours. And then that North American model. Then we go to the European model for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days out. We go to the deterministic mode, the best mode of it. And then we go to the ensemble of the European and compare it to the ensemble of the GFS and for the long term. So what we're looking at here is the deterministic mode, just so I could show you a good look at the Alberta Clipper on Sunday into Monday, and it's not a screamer. Now, what is a screamer, and I wrote about this yesterday, hopefully you are on your horse heading south if you're trying to get to Florida or the Gulf Coast this weekend. Friday especially would not be a time to do that. This is Friday afternoon into evening, and guess what that is? That is moderate to heavy snow from Kentucky into Tennessee, into North Georgia, North Alabama, North Mississippi. That would not be fun. This is Friday night, so you do not want to be on I-75 heading through Kentucky, Tennessee, into North Georgia on Friday night. No way. This is Saturday morning, and it's not going to clear up real quick. Pamela Todorov, what's the forecast for sunshine? Probably the most important forecast we have. What's the forecast for sunshine? We could tomorrow, I think, as the winds turn southwest and it warms a little off, we could see some occasional sunshine, but it's just not a sunny time of year. Sorry. So then Saturday. So for us, we get a little 1 to 2 incher on Friday. Saturday looks dry, and then here comes that Alberta Clipper. Remember, when the storm center is to your south by 100 or 200 miles, then you're in the heavier band of any storm system. An Alberta Clipper can be robust. I've seen them have solid 3 to 6 inch heavy snows on the north side. Most of the time they're 2 to 4. That's what this one is, and I would call the storm center tracking over, say, Muskegon, right over the center of the state, Muskegon to Saginaw. That means it puts the more solid snow in the northern half of lower Michigan and the UP, and more spotty snow southern half. So I'm going to say it's a 1 to 2 inch snow for Ann Arbor, Detroit, Grand Rapids, Flint, Saginaw, Jackson, Lansing, and maybe a 2 to 4 as you get north of Traverse City up into the UP. They bring Arctic cold behind them, and then that's the lake effect that happens Monday into Tuesday, and we all get cold. Still no sign of a widespread statewide snowstorm. It's coming. I do believe it's coming. I'd be really surprised if we got through the next 4 to 5 weeks without most of lower Michigan getting into a 6 to 10 inch snow. Austin, Marches, I'm right on Lake Michigan, a block from the water. It's cold and wind is wild. Yes, I know it is. So we're out to next week, and, I'm kind of leading you into I'd be really surprised if we didn't have a widespread snowstorm. Now, I'm not supposed to do this because my meteorologist friends will absolutely roast me. Whoa! I'm showing a deterministic weather forecast model 10, 12 days out. I'm showing it to you with a grain of salt. I'm showing it to you because over the last couple of days we've seen that something as a storm system is forming January 20th, 23rd, somewhere in there. And it's not rocket science. We're in the pattern that a storm is coming into the western U.S., dropping down in the plains, curving somewhere northeast about every 4 or 5 days. So, we got Sunday, then we got maybe one late next week, and then we got another one. And that's why I say at some point the jet stream will kink more, and instead of these fast-moving storm systems, we'll get into a widespread storm. And that's what the European model shows, not only in the deterministic, but in the ensemble, 50 tweaks of it. And my point is, we are going to stay winter into the end of January, fully winter, and we're going to have each cold blob will be colder than the last. So this is the look right here of a full-fledged Great Lakes snowstorm. We'll just keep an eye on it, okay? Now, here's that same European model. We're looking at the upper airflow, and we're looking at it in the ensemble mode, 50 tweaks. And again, the way we use this is in the long term, out 10, 15 days. Does it show a flip-flop, or does it show kind of a moderation, or does it show a continue of the cold temperatures? And it shows a continue. This is Monday, and yeah, that circle you see there north of Minnesota, that is a piece of the polar vortex, and it will shift across our region and to the south. These things break up, kind of like the old lava lamp back in the 1970s. So it's nothing that's, really extreme or bizarre. Now we're into Saturday of January 18th, and, do you see a big moderation, a big flip-flop warm-up? No, you do not. In fact, you see a continued enhancement of the cold flow. This is Tuesday, January 21st, and what does that say? That says that the atmosphere is compressed fairly far more than normal, if that makes sense. And you got to remember, I'm a scientist. I only had to take 1 or 2 English classes in college, and my kids and my wife are always amazed at this because they all graduated from Central Michigan. I went to Northern Illinois University for meteorology. What they're amazed at, in my college career, I probably had to write 5 papers, and that was in that first year of English. We don't write papers in meteorology. We do math problems. So I would turn in 15 pages of math problems, and it might be only 2 math problems. And I pulled some of that out one day to show my kids and my wife, and they're like, "What is that?" I said, "Yeah, I know, it's a different language. I have no idea." And we use, of course, really none of that today, of course. Oh, there we go. Judy Boomer's into the crochet projects. That sounds like a good winter activity. I'm into the garden planning and just reading. So we're out to January 20th, and we're out to January 23rd. Continues cold. Why? Now, here is another pitfall. You're getting a lot here, folks. You're getting a ton of meteorology for your money. Oh, there is no money involved. You're getting a ton here. So the ensemble, we like that way out in the future to show a general trend. We don't see 50 iterations of the European showing us a big flip-flop and warmth. What we don't like is that it disappears any storm system, and we know that we just have to wait until those get closer. So I showed you a storm system which would look like a big bend in the jet stream, but when you average 50 of those, not all of those will have the storm system. So there you go there. All right, so the point is, winter, 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 get ready for it. And so let's ditch the high temperature forecast and just look at how cold it's going to be each morning. And, truly we've had a lot colder air because the lakes are still warm. This could change after a couple of weeks, and we get an Arctic blast, then it could be an authentic one. But low temperatures tomorrow morning, single digits, just above 0. Flint, Saginaw, the Thumb, Central Michigan. A lot of places just cold. Friday morning, temperatures in the teens and 20s. Saturday morning in the teens and 20s. Sunday, same deal. And Monday, as the Alberta Clipper, we tend to go a little mild during the storm system. And, hey, you're welcome, Vern Fondren. And then Monday and Tuesday, the colder air moves in. So this is by Wednesday. We'll be down to the single digits widespread for low temperatures. And then after, remember, this is the same model that shows the snowstorm way, way out. After that, as we get into January 22nd, it fits the picture of temperatures going colder, and that's what we would expect, by the way. Again, not rocket science. If we go with kind of an average winter, we see each cold air mass colder than the last to about mid-February, and then it starts to go the other way. And that's why I say, we're going to have winter cold in the heart of winter. Get ready. Be prepared. It's not just a weak blast and then we flip-flop to something mild. There are some signs that the cold lets up, the below normal temperatures let up some as we get into February and maybe go toward normal. Some signs, but that is pretty far out. Hey, there you go. Be careful on the roads. I'll be posting more on MLive, and if you have any questions, you can always contact me on Facebook or email me, mtorriger@mlive.com. Take care. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.